Yesterday, during the No Kings protest, there was a very violent and calculated act in Minnesota. Two Minnesota legislators were shot and their spouses. Two died, husband and wife. It was a planned assassination. You could see it. They identified the guy who's done it. He had a manifesto. And no matter how much MAGA is saying it was the leftist, it was the leftist, they did it. No, motherfucker was a Trumper, hardcore, and he's missing. They can't find him. All of a sudden, they can't find him. Nah, he's been hidden. Trump folks got him in some kind of weird ass version of a safe house so he can do their bidding again. He had a list, including Governor Walz. So, in something like this, political violence is horrendous. It's something we should not encourage. We should condemn. I don't care what your manifesto is. I lived through the 60s. The Weather Underground were terrorists. And what they did harmed people. That's terrorism. It didn't make a difference. It doesn't help. I remember that. SLA, all that. It didn't help. I mean, there was a difference between what the Black Panthers tried to do and what these terrorist groups, organizations did. The Black Panthers got tainted by that because they were trying to do the good thing, and I know that. Trust me, I grew up in there. But that being said, if someone does political violence, they are wrong. Case in point, Oklahoma City bombing. That was an act of domestic terrorism, political violence. Timothy McVeigh was a far righter, no different than MAGA and the Proud Boys. Look it up. Okay? But the difference is that the country at that time was going to put up with it, especially when they're carrying bodies of children after a collapsed building. And we handled it. Could you imagine that happened now? What MAGA and the far right would be doing? Even with the horrific pictures of that, they would be making excuses for Timothy McVeigh. Some of them might even think he was a hero. You know I'm right. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. And why is Will saying that? Tonight, a sitting senator of the United States, Mike Lee of Utah, put out a message literally celebrating the deaths of a Minnesota legislator and her husband. Murdered in their bed, assassinating their bed, and making a political statement that they got what they deserved. A sitting American United States senator, not some weirdo Twitter or far-right nut, a United States senator. Now, Republicans are one thing I'll give them. They're lockstep. That man should be expelled out of the Senate, and Utah should be forced to bring us another one. But they won't. They'll find a way to defend him. He'll make some mea culpa. I don't know how you come back with that in the old days. The old days. The old days. The days when we had empathy and heart. Which brings me back to my example. You saw that. That man was celebrating the deaths and the attempted assassination of legislators, people in their home, by a far-right terrorist. And he was celebrating it, saying this is what they get. You tell me in these comments, if Timothy McVeigh had done this now, would Republicans defend him? Oh, hell yeah. They would make him a hero for standing up against the government on the bodies of those children. What Mike Lee did in celebrating the death of those, the deaths of the legislature and the shooting of the other two, is no different if he celebrated Timothy McVeigh killing those people at the Oklahoma City bombing. You know I'm right. And Utah? I've been to Utah. My brother-in-law lives in Utah. Salt Lake City is beautiful. You people are good people. Do you want this man representing you? Is he really who you are? Ask yourself that.